Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the St. Patrick's Day. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno. Go ahead, send your pinches my way. I'm not wearing green. You know how it is at the weather wall. Sometimes I would disappear with that weather map. So anyway, we'll get you started out there with some snow on the maps. Look at what's happening right now. Chicago, we've had a little snow to start your day. It's 36 degrees though, so it's not that big of a deal kind of snow, and we'll see the rain actually moving pretty soon. It's a true mixed precip sort of day where we start with a little bit of wet snow, same thing up in Wisconsin, but then changing over to rain and ending pretty quickly too. Everything is pretty light and everything is moving through fairly quickly. Now I will say though, even though it is light, it still could cause some quick travel issues this morning. So Wisconsin and northern lower Michigan especially, I would be careful out there on your drive in case you get some of that quick burst of snow that reduces visibility. So we say goodbye to Stella. This one coming in is not as big of a trough in our jet stream, so the low pressure itself will not be as strong as it moves over the Great Lakes. However, it still is going to cause some active weather, and we'll see what happens as it goes off the coast on Saturday night. That's when we really have to watch it. So watching your forecast Saturday into Saturday night and early Sunday for this low to potentially strengthen off the coast, and that's when it could dump some big snow, maybe all the way down to Long Island, southern New England in the mix as well, and we'll see that up here into maybe interior Mass, southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire, and Maine. Yes, you could have more snow. Let's time it out for you. Today, Detroit, it's a mix starting with some snow, then changing over to rain. Could get a little drizzle, even some freezing drizzle in there as well. We'll see the same thing as the whole system transitions east into Ohio. Then getting into Pennsylvania tonight, Pittsburgh, we will see that wintry mix. Northeastern Pennsylvania hanging on to some snow. Philadelphia likely starting with a mix of both. And then, you know, I'm not going to see much additional accumulation out of it for you tomorrow. So now tomorrow, it's really into tomorrow night that we're going to see that low head off the coast and start to strengthen. New York City could see a wintry, sloppy mess to start on top of what we have, but we could finish with some snow into early Sunday morning. So again, we're tracking this all east getting into the weekend, and a couple of rain showers coming into the mid-Atlantic, including around Baltimore and including around the D.C. area. Here's your Saturday night forecast. Again, we could be seeing as the cold air comes in behind the low that at this point will be offshore. That's when we have the best chance of seeing the more significant accumulating snow. Until we get to then, it's just going to be a real sort of light 1 to 3 inch kind of snow, and a lot of you won't see any additional accumulation like Chicago, like Milwaukee. Cleveland, we could get some light snow, Buffalo as well, but then again watching for a couple of inches as that low exits off the coast, but then does move away, so it won't be quite this as the same situation we had last time. Boston, let's take a look at you. So we got 6.6 from Winter Storm Stella. That plus the fact that we have the chance for new snow coming in has shortened your parade route that you're going to have on Sunday for St. Patrick's Day. And you can see Sunday we have snow in the forecast. Temperatures will be hanging out in the low to mid. Show you where we'll get some rain heading on in. Watching for some rain stretching through parts of the southeast potentially, but you see how there's not a lot of moisture. It's just starting to come back as our front tracks on in. So we will watch for the chance for showers with this front tailing on in, but it's not going to be a tremendous widespread sort of coverage on the map, and the rain that you get won't be terribly heavy. There's the chance for a couple of thunderstorms, I think, especially from Arkansas, maybe into West Tennessee. We'll watch this front sink south tomorrow, and it's losing more and more of its oomph as it tracks further south. So we won't see as much in the way of rainfall, I think, once you get south of Tennessee. Now, tonight's forecast brings a couple of showers into northern Mississippi, northern Alabama. We get some rain chances into North Carolina. And again, temperatures are going to be warmer too, so that's a key part to the story. We look ahead to tomorrow's forecast. Chance of rain early in the day in places like Atlanta and Greenville and Asheville. So your forecast is for overall about an inch of rain locally. You might get 1 to 2 inches up here across portions of Tennessee, including around the Nashville area. And it really just depends if you get underneath a thunderstorm or not. It's going to be very isolated in that nature. So as we continue to watch this forecast for you in the southeast, let's time it out into the Atlanta area. Today is going to be a dry and warmer day. We get you into overnight tonight. So this is tomorrow morning. You check the radar and you're wondering if you're going to have soccer and baseball and everything else. There is going to be that chance of rain. It's not a guarantee. It's not a washout. It's going to be scattered showers, but you have to watch that radar for at least the morning. Then the afternoon looking better as temperatures return into the mid 60s. All right, let's go coast to coast right now. We've got your weather headlines, and we take you first to North Carolina, where a massive fire break. Let's go to those temps in the north and talk about some changes coming in here. One thing you got to notice is that we got a lot of wind coming in from the south. You see these little wind barbs coming up from the south? That's bringing up warmer air. So temperatures get more mild over the weekend. Yesterday, we went above the freezing mark in Wisconsin and northern Illinois for the first time in 5 days. And we're still there, Chicago, 36 degrees right now. We're at 34 in Minneapolis. So the trend has been so hot in the southwest. That ridge that's over the southwest starts to nudge east, and we get some of of that warm air further to the east. Temperatures going up across Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. Our temperatures going up into the weekend, and we see some of that settling into the south and east as well, at least getting warmer. Now, the cold air does stay in place across the north and especially northern New England. There's another shot of cold air coming on in where temperatures stay on the cool side. But elsewhere, we're going to be running above average today, going to 67 in North Platte, 71 in Dodge City, and then getting closer to Chicago, temperatures in the 40s. All right, we'll take a look here at what else is coming up this morning on AMHQ. We've got the latest, of course, on this forecast and the snow. Let's talk about these temp changes coming on in. It is again a chilly morning with temps down to freezing, especially in eastern South Carolina, parts of southern Georgia. We still got temperatures down near the freezing mark with freeze warnings and frost advisories up, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday morning. In fact, looking out over the southeast, most spots are at least a little bit warmer than yesterday, and many spots like in Memphis and Nashville and New Orleans, you're about 10 to 15 degrees warmer right now than you were yesterday at this time. So there's a nice trend coming if you don't like the chill. Temperatures today go to the 80s in Dallas, Midland, Texas. We go to 90, back to 70 in Memphis and 77 in New Orleans. Atlanta area gets back to the mid 60s. Some clouds will sort of temper that temperature a little bit, and into Sunday, look at these readings across the plains. 87 in Wichita, 84 in Dallas. Temperatures going up this weekend, and that's really where the core of the warmth will be, kind of oozing a little bit east. So now we're just going a little bit above average in places like Atlanta. Temperatures go to 73 degrees, 79 in New Orleans. All right, Tuesday's forecast, we see the warmth spreading nearly 80 in Atlanta. Dallas, we're at 86 degrees in Midland. We'll stay up there. We got a warm next stretch across West Texas of temperatures. And New Orleans, for us, our temperatures are going to be close to average today. Then we bump it up, upper 70s, close to 80, all the way through the extended range. Nice first week of spring coming in next week. Monday is the first official day of spring. And Dallas, here's a look at your temperatures. Upper 80s for you Monday into Tuesday, 86 degrees. We'll see those temperatures staying above average getting into next week as well. So the warmth does return to the southeast. And new this morning with freezing temps late this week, crops across the south are threatened, where you can be pulled over for not clearing your car in Massachusetts. While there's no official legislation about snow on the roof of your car, you can be fined if there is debris on your car. All right, this weekend, a chance to put a little more snow on top of your car roofs. We've got this system, this clipper system, tracking into the northeast. It's not a big deal kind of system right now. Actually has more rain with it than anything else, but as it tracks east, we will see it head off the coast, and you know what the coast does here. We will see that thing strengthen and throw a little moisture back into New England. The rest of the country for your Friday, your St. Patrick's Day, looking pretty good. We do have more rain coming back to Seattle later today, so after your sunshine yesterday, rain is back into the picture. Dallas heating up, hitting some record highs this weekend. 80 for you, that will be a new record. Or I should say Denver. Dallas won't be a record, but it will be warm, 83 degrees. And then we'll get a little bit of rain out of that clipper into the south and east. As the clipper heads off the coast, it's all happening overnight Saturday night into early Sunday. That's when the snow will happen there to southern New England. Could bring some snow to New York City before we warm up to 42 degrees. And Boston, you could see some more snow as you have your St. Patrick's Day parade on Sunday, which has been shortened due to the fact that you had all this snow now covering some city blocks after Stella. This weekend is the marathon in LA. Temperatures will be looking good, a little warm at the end. Temperatures into the mid 70s on Sunday, but other than that, no weather issues. And in the south, we've got your forecast for Miami, where temperatures are going back to the 80s after a couple of chilly mornings, low 50s. I know by Miami standards, that's cool, but we do warm up here getting into the weekend. Still to come on AMHQ early, we may see changes in the weather out west as we move through the weekend. We'll let you know the timing of the system as it moves through the Great Lakes. You look at the radar and you think, wow, that's a lot of snow. It's some snow. Now, Duluth at the airport, you're 32 degrees. So we're getting some accumulating snow, especially up across the arrowhead of Minnesota, up here towards International Falls. But you go down to Wisconsin and temperatures are barely at 32. In fact, for the most part, they're up at about 33 or 34. Down towards Milwaukee, we were 36. And so a lot of this is mixing back and forth. You go from snow to sleet to rain, back again. I mean, I've literally been watching these precipitation types go back and forth all within the matter of about 6 minutes. Chicago, that happened to you as well. So now it's mainly just rain coming into Chicago. And as this crosses over the lake here into lower Michigan, you could start with a little bit of snow, but then you'll be changing over into that wintry mix as well. So that's what's going to happen with this clipper as it moves east. southeast through the day today, overnight tonight, and to tomorrow. So here's our exiting system. You can see behind it, we still sort of have this big gyre out here. It's not affecting our weather per se across New England, but just interesting what a big upper level low this thing was across the east. This other guy is pretty small in comparison, right, as it digs on in. So we see this dig in today. We see our surface low continue to track eastward and the fronts along with it. It's really not until Saturday night when it heads off the coast does it really get any kind of energy and any kind of, I think, potential to put down some, shovelable snowfall and plowable snowfall. We look at the forecast today. We spread that wintry mix across lower Michigan into Ohio. Again, not expecting any widespread accumulation there. Into Pennsylvania by tonight. And again, with timing, comes in overnight, northern PA and western New York, you'll get an inch to maybe 3 inches worth of snow out of this. And then tomorrow into tomorrow night, this is when we got to watch for the more significant accumulating snow. The low goes off the coast, and then overnight, Saturday night into early Sunday, we see that accumulating snowfall into southeastern New York, into southern New England, the tri-state, Long Island by Sunday morning. You guys could be snowing with some heavy snow that would be affecting travel. So early heads up for that getting into the week.